I should have known the moment I saw the name, Maple Hollow, that I'd made a mistake. I mean, come on, Maple Hollow. That's not a neighborhood, that's a scented candle. Unlike most candles, it covered up something messy underneath. But I didn't see that at first. I saw green lawns, matching mailboxes, a friendly HOA flyer tucked in my mailbox that smelled like lavender. And I thought, yeah, this could be home. I rode in with my Titan Blaze 9000 grill, still wrapped in plastic, ready to claim my little slice of suburban peace. 6 banners, chrome finish, rotisserie attachment. It was more spaceship than grill. I imagined steak nights, cold beers, waving to neighbors over a sizzling ribeye. What I didn't imagine was Brenda. Brenda wasn't elected. She just was. She emerged from the hedges in tennis whites and a clipboard like she'd been waiting for me specifically. Mid-50s, sharp silver bob, drove around in a modified golf cart she called the Chariot. First time we met, she stared down at my doormat, which said, "Hope you brought beer," and said, flat as drywall, "That invites the wrong kind of energy." I laughed. She didn't. I flipped it over black rubber side up. Problem solved, or so I thought. No. Next week, I'm out mowing the lawn, headphones in, when I notice Brenda crouched with a tape measure in hand, inspecting my grass like it's crime scene evidence. "1/4 inch too short," she says. Then she points to my hose, counterclockwise, calling disrupts neighborhood harmony. It wasn't a neighborhood. It was a stage, and Brenda. She thought she was directing a ballet. I tried to play nice. Smiled, nodded, did the whole "yes ma'am" thing. I figured I could just lay low. Keep my grass regulation height, coil clockwise, and make peace. Then came the tornado. It was fast, loud, and completely unannounced. No alerts, no sirens, nothing. The sky turned green, the wind hit like a truck, and my Titan Blaze 9000 went airborne like a rocket, crashing 3 doors down into Gary's Garden Gnome collection. It was chaos. When the dust settled, I walked outside, grill parts everywhere, shingles in trees, neighbors wandering around like extras in a disaster movie, and that's when I saw it. Right there in Brenda's flower bed, half hidden behind the begonias, was a satellite dish. Big. New. Not your average dish network setup. This thing looked military. And it was humming. Like, audibly humming. 3 days later, 2 black SUVs pull into Maple Hollow. Men in FEMA jackets get out, holding these handheld scanner things. They start sweeping Brenda's yard, and the scanner starts beeping like crazy. Brenda marches out in full tennis whites, hands on hips. "Can I help you?" she says, like she didn't know she was harboring a Cold War relic in her begonias. One of them flashes a badge. "Ma'am, this is a Spectre-class signal jammer. It's been blocking federal emergency alerts." She tries to protest. They hand her a citation. $100,000. I mean, my grill was destroyed, but even I felt that sting. You'd think she'd lay low. Call a lawyer. Maybe bake cookies for the neighborhood to apologize. No. Brenda doubled down. That weekend, she called a special HOA meeting. She shows up in a navy pantsuit like she's running for Senate and announces a community defense initiative. She wants each of us to contribute $2,000 to help her fight what she calls government overreach. And that's when Gary Sweet, quiet Gary, whose SpongeBob trampoline ended up in his living room after the storm, stands up and says, "The only threat to this neighborhood is you, Brenda." The floodgates opened. People started yelling. Turns out Brenda had fined a woman for using non-neutral mulch. Another guy got cited for hanging a pride flag during an off-season. One lady got a warning about her solar lights being too festive. I grabbed the HOA handbook Brenda loved so much, flipped to page 23, and read aloud, "All legal liability incurred by board members is their sole responsibility." The vote to remove her. 49-1. But Brenda didn't go quietly. 2 days later, she unveiled her own emergency alert system. And I swear to you, I am not making this up. Step 1. A squirrel named Timothy. Brenda claimed Timmy's tail fluff could predict weather patterns. Step 2. Colored flags. Green for safe. Yellow for possible drizzle. Red with a skull and crossbones for a brace for impact. Step 3. A naval-grade air horn mounted to the chariot. So picture this: clear sky, birds chirping, perfect Saturday. And then that skull flag goes up, and Brenda blares the air horn so loud it sets off car alarms, breaks Gary's window, and literally ignites her own march. She stands there in the smoke, flag in one hand, air horn in the other, like she just defeated a hurricane with patriotism. That was it. I looked around at the neighbors, and we all just kind of knew. It was time. At the next HOA meeting, Brenda tried to speak. Gary calmly took the mic. Then people stood up, one by one, sharing stories. The fines. The fear. The flaming lawn gnomes. When it was my turn, I looked her in the eye and said, "Brenda, this wasn't leadership. This was performance art with collateral damage. You didn't protect this community. You policed it into chaos." The vote was unanimous. FEMA dropped the fine on one condition: we install a real emergency system. No squirrels. No horns. No flags. Brenda sold her house 2 weeks later. The for sale sign leaned sideways. Nobody straightened it. After she left, things shifted. People breathed easier. Lawns got a little messier, in a good way. Carol put her gnomes back. Gary was elected HOA president. His first act. He gave me a new doormat. Black. White letters. It said, "Just wipe your feet." A week later, the guy who helped rebuild my deck surprised me. He rode up with my Titan Blaze, welded back together, one leg still crooked, but walking. "She's got character now," he said. "Like the neighborhood." That night, we grilled. The steak sizzled, beers clinked, people laughed. It felt right. And then, from 2 houses down, bagpipes. Real, loud, so splitting bagpipes. A new neighbor. Full kilt. Playing what sounded like a goose having an existential crisis. I looked at Gary. He looked at me. We both grinned. After everything with Brenda. Yeah, we could live with bagpipes. So here's my question to you: if it were your neighborhood, what would you have done? Flip the mat and keep the peace? Or stand your ground like we did? Drop a comment. Let's talk about boundaries, power, and how far is too far when your garden hose becomes a political statement.